Camp Chef Portable Grill. You're watching a view to a grill, and today we're unboxing a Camp Chef portable flat top grill. And if you want to see other great videos on the barbecue topic, all you have to do is subscribe. Let's start by cutting this open and getting it out of the box. I'll use the lid of the box just as a floor covering so that when I set the unit onto the floor, it'll be resting on the cardboard and not the concrete, just to save it a few scratches. So this thing is actually pretty heavy. It's a lot heavier than I thought it would be. There are two more boxes in the large box, so we'll go ahead and take those out. In the smaller box are two handles, the drip pan, and some documentation. Now the first thing I noticed were that the latches were a little loose, but at this point I wasn't worried. I just figured there would be some instructions later on that will tell me how to tighten up the latches. So I'm just messing around with it at this point, not really too worried. We'll swing those open and take a look at the inside. As you can see, there's nothing to assemble in the inside. We just have a piece of cardboard for packing. And on one of the lid covers is, some basic warnings and things not to do. Now back to the latches. I'm examining the latches again, and they are definitely loose. It almost seems like they're missing something, like maybe a spring or something in there that should make these work correctly, but they're just not working correctly. At this point, if I would have bought this at my local Lowe's or Home Depot, I would have put it back in the box and taken it back, and quite frankly I would have gotten my money back at this point. But this came in the mail and I'm probably too lazy to send it back. In my opinion, it is a bit too heavy to lug around and call it portable. It does fold up and it will leave less of a footprint in the back of whatever you're hauling it in. So in that sense it is portable. I just wouldn't call it portable. Also, if I had it to do all over again, I would simply buy the one on a cart. It does come with a shelf and it is a little easier to move around on your patio. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the instructions. As you can see, there aren't very many steps in getting this thing assembled because the legs are already attached. The instructions say to remove everything from the boxes. We'll go ahead and remove the griddle from the large box. Now this thing's pretty heavy. In Camp Chef's promotional video, they show a person carrying the main unit pretty easily, and they also show this guy picking it up from his garage floor in a case. Well, that kind of led me to believe there was a case included, but there wasn't. I'll use the cardboard from the other box as a floor cover so that when I flip this over, I can avoid scratching up the lid of the main unit. We'll just get that flipped over so we can extend all four legs. So to extend the legs, all you have to do is get a firm grip and pull it straight out. That will release a spring so that you can then rotate them forward. Now some of these were harder than the other ones. This one I actually had to put the camera down, but it still came out fairly easily, so I wouldn't call that any kind of an issue. Now that we have all four legs extended, we'll just flip it back over onto the legs. Now the only hardware that we really need tools for are the handles. One thing I want you to notice is that the bracket for the handle is not perpendicular to the handle. If you hold it up one way, it kind of angles down. Turn it over, it'll angle up a little bit. So when you install them, and if your handles are like mine, then I would angle them up a little bit so that when you open the lid out, then they will be parallel to the ground. I don't know if that was by design or if that was by accident. Once you have the handles on, aside from attaching the tank, this thing is assembled. Now again, the latches. Now unless I'm missing it, I'm not finding any documentation on the latches and what the entire latch assembly should look like. They just don't work. Now that we have the handles on, let's take a look around and see what we got. Here you can see the welds. The welds look pretty sturdy, so I'm happy about that. There is some burn through so that when they're tacking the metal together on the other side of this plate, that there's a little bit of burn through marks, but that's no big deal. Well, at least not to me. Here's a look at the burners. Everything looks pristine, looks fantastic. The quality is awesome. Now this flat top, this thing is heavy. Earlier we got a good look at both sides of the flat top, and it has this heat dispersion plate on the bottom, but this is a heavy flat top. Now I don't know if they're all heavy. I've never owned a flat top before, but this one is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. I wouldn't exactly call it portable. We'll get the flat top on, we'll attach the drip pan, and there you have it, the Camp Chef portable flat top grill. Everything except for the latches is well put together. Everything is tight. Here's a good look at the adjustable leg, so that if your surface is unlevel, you can extend these screws out or push them in, whatever you need to do in order to level out your flat top. This one comes with a bottle opener. It does look good. It is built well. Someone just dropped the ball when they put the latches together. Thank you for watching a view to a grill, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and as always, take care, y'all.